spoke it. They just didn't know how to read and write it.
Yeah.
So I was this little English kid sitting there with a Greek teacher who was talking in Greek to Greek children, and I'm just copying the shapes and thinking, oh, I wish I was playing football, because I had absolutely no idea after about 3 years. And then one Saturday afternoon, I think I remember breaking down to my mum and going, I don't understand what he's saying.
I don't want to go again. Ever.
I don't want to go. And they let me stop going, but for 3 years I went. That's the closest I came to learning anything.
Have you ever been for vacation? We have so many beautiful Greek islands.
I know, but you know that I would love more than anything to go around the Greek islands, and someone's offered...
And it's your last date, so maybe you have time after the concert.
If I thought I could do it without the press following me, then that's where I would be.
Don't do it then.
You see, if I thought I would be, you know, I'm 43, I'm not 24 anymore. You don't want to catch me with my clothes off on a boat. That's not what I want. And
are you going to do that?
It's not too bad. I've been keeping fit, but it's
Are you going to do that? Are you going to take your clothes off on a boat?
No, I might do it on stage instead, actually. But you know what I'm saying? I would really love one of those yacht holidays around the Greek islands. It's supposed to be one of the most beautiful things you can do, but I just don't think I'd be left alone. You know, that's really the reason I haven't been to Greece. It's the reason I haven't been back to Cyprus for the best part of 22 years. It's because of the actual attention. It's not because I don't want to go there.
Do you have relatives now in Cyprus or not?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I mean, most of the immediate extended family, but some of the extended family still live in Limassol, and because they lost their villages in 74, you know. My father's village was taken over in 74, so those extended family members went to Limassol. But no, I'd absolutely love to come to Athens for some other reason. It's just very hard for me to be low profile, you know.
Yes, it is. Everyone's gonna look after you. It's gonna watching you.
But actually, it was me that thought I should play Greece this time.
It was time. It was about time.
Yeah, it's time. It's absolutely time. And I'm kind of... And I really don't think I will ever do this type of show again. So I really would have felt bad not going to Greece. I think that would have been a shame.
Okay, talking about the charts you said before. Tell me, in 3 years' time, it's going to be the end of the first decade of the what is it called? Zeros, thousands. We had the 80s, the 90s, and now zeros.
The noughties. We call them over here the noughties. Yeah.
So, what do you think about music this decade? Was it better, was it worse than the last 2 decades that you started?
Well, I think it's started to turn around, hasn't it? I mean, it's turning around to the degree that we can, that for British people at least, it's turning around to the degree that we can expect some kind of response from America again. So things are getting better, but I don't think they were ever worse than from the mid-90s to the mid-noughties. It was pretty damn... rubbish.
Rubbish.
You know?
You mean for the singles mostly, not for the albums?
Well, in general, I think for both. I think it was an incredibly poor period of I think the record companies destroyed youth culture by thinking that they could imitate it. You know, we had this fantastic 20-year period post-Beatles where everyone had to write their own music in order to be listened to or even really taken in any way as having something to offer. You had to be able to write. And the minute in the mid-80s, that started to fall apart with the whole PWL, you know, Stock Aitken Waterman thing. And I think it took us a good 15
years back.
Yeah, it took us a good 15 years to get over it, to the point that we're getting back to the idea of singer-songwriters. So there are good things happening, no question, there are good things happening, but it's been pretty bad. If it will take a lot to create international stars of the size that we saw kind of in the 80s and early 90s. The way the industry is fragmenting, I think very few people will get a chance to get that much attention as musicians, because music has lost its stature in the culture. It's lost its status, it's lost it's no longer the centre of youth culture at all. It's just a part of it, you know. So I think in that sense, losing pop culture is quite sad. But having said that, I do think that there is some talent around now that we couldn't see or hear a few years back.
Okay. there were rumors about a Wham reunion.
Rumours about me? Rumours?
No, never. Rumors about a Wham reunion, a Wham concert last December, or something like that.
Well, Andrew stayed at my house last night, and I can assure you there is no reunion going on.
Nothing.
Nothing, no. I mean, I still see Andrew quite regularly, and there was some talk about possibly him coming on to do Last Christmas, because as a Christmas present, basically. But I don't think it's right. I think, you know, I don't think it's the right thing to do. I don't think either of us think it's the right thing to do, and I know it would be a great moment, and the media would love it, and they keep trying to create it, but it's not going to happen, and I don't want people to be constantly disappointed. You know, I certainly don't want people to turn up to Wembley Stadium hoping to see Andrew.
To see Wham, yeah.
Because last time, you know, I think they did hope to see him in at Wembley Arena, but that was really created by the press. That was nothing to do with us, you know. So I just, people ought to know that by now.